A bit slippery, Lee, or it looks spongy as you said, but is it slippery as well or not?
No, it's not as bad. The field is actually quite good considering the amount of rain we've had in the last week. It's just that little bit spongy.
Great run there by Carl Webb, gave Shane Pummerby the big don't argue. You're right about the playing surface here, gents. It's one of the best draining grounds in the New South Wales Cup. This club spent a small fortune about 5 years ago now, enhancing the drainage. Here's a bust by Troy Savage and had two support players there. Canterbury, Cutler was able to get himself in the middle of it. He comes up with the football, line dropout.
See what Lee Bennett's right here. This right edge defence from Canterbury, left side attack from the Wentworthville Magpies. Troy Savage just straight through Daniel Ravakava there, and thank God the arm of Inspector Gadget was there. Go Gadget was there in Trent Cutler to knock that pass down. That was a try.
I'm sure he'll be impressed with the Inspector Gadget line.
That's a typical player, Trent Cutler, though. He pops up anywhere.
He does.
And Canterbury has got the ball again as Wentworthville were returning the football from the line dropout. This is Junior Tia Khalifi trying to get around them, tackled by Ken Seo. Another look at this on replay.
Good kid, this Penny Taripo. He's just led into that tackle with the ball. That's the problem. Didn't protect the ball into that contact, and it popped out. Still eligible for under 20s and has done a great job with Wenty.
He's big enough.
He's a good kid.
Corey Payne does well. Now it's to Michael Lett. He'll be hard to stop from there. He's got speed to burn. He hits the afterburners, and Lett comes up with the first 4-pointer of this game. Took almost 17 minutes to get a try. We have one now, and it's a screamer. 4-0 to the Dogs, kick to come.
Had to be off Corey Payne. Great ball carrier and ball player, Corey Payne. Steps inside Carl Webb, gets that right arm free, and pushing up, of course, Michael Lett. He knows how to sniff out a try, and he just leaves for standing there, Henry Rawalui, and Lett, top try scorer still. He's had a few matches out of New South Wales Cup. I still imagine he'd be the top try scorer in the competition.
So across the stripe goes Michael Lett, and comes up with a very handy try. That's his 16th of the season. Came into this match with 15 beside his name. And the conversion from Goodwin is successful. And so 6-0 here after 18 minutes of play, down to Lee Bennett.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that try. That's a bit of a favourite play from Corey Payne. But the experience from Michael Lett, the timing of his support play, he arrived perfect timing, got the ball, and in space, he's got speed to burn and finds a line. It was a great try.
You would have played with Corey at the Tigers, Lee. Is he always like that? I mean, he's developed it. I think he's always had it in his game, but he just didn't show it a lot at the Tigers, did he? He didn't play a lot of football there either with injury.
He did. I actually spent a couple of years with him at the Dragons as well.
Right.
And he has always had a good carry on him.
Yeah.
And he loves that little one arm. And especially when it comes off, you're happy. If it doesn't, not so happy.
Lee Bennett joining us on the sideline today, filling in for Drury Forbes. And a mistake by Canterbury. We see now that Mickey Payer is into the game for the Bulldogs. And here he is with his first touch of the match, and a rampaging charge it was too, taking 3 of them on. Unfortunately, ball security in the ensuing play, the ball was lacking, as you will see.
Yeah, I think he was entitled to hang on to that football. Mickey, I don't think he agrees, but I think he was entitled to keep hold of it.
So away goes Wentworthville from Mortimer, out to Troy Savage. Ravakava converged on him, as did the Canterbury skipper Trent Cutler. And he was hurt in that. Savage gets up favouring a left shoulder or left arm. There's the big pellet to Leasy, preparing to come into the action. And Daniel Mortimer tries to bust them. Had Payer across the top, so good field position again for Wentworthville. Fluke dummies inside, goes outside to Rawalui. And Rawalui is put on the ground. Millington the tackler. Now Fluke again taking them on. A dummy, and somehow miraculously got that ball to Joseph Paulo. And it's been called a knock on.
Yeah, it's come off the Bulldogs player. I think he'll rule here. As you have a look at it here on the replay. Gone to the line, Aaron Fluke. Ball's come out, and I think what he's ruled is that as he's gone to pass it, the 15 there has knocked it straight off. There's that Joseph Paulo's knocked it into the Bulldogs player and regathered, so therefore it's a knock on.
So the Bulldogs 6-0 leaders after almost 21 minutes of play, coming away with it through Ravakava. Now back to Cutler. Cutler scampers about 7 further metres. Mortimer, his opposite number, puts him on the ground. Wentworthville have made a promising start. There's been several good attacking raids down their left-hand side of their offence. And here's a great play. Millington in space. He's got support and throws the ball over the top. It's Bryson Goodwin. Is he going to go to the corner? No, he kicks over the top and chases, getting back there for Wentworthville. Rawalui, he saves the day. And the Bulldogs have come about 70 metres with that movement.
As Corey Payne again slips that little ball to Grant Millington. Good player, Grant Millington too. Loves pushing up and support. Selective pass here. Cuts out Josh Morris straight out to Bryson Goodwin. Perhaps it could have gone shorter into Josh Morris and something might have eventuated that was better than the outcome. Although it's the second best outcome, I guess, a goal line dropout.
You see the amount of Canterbury chasers there. The Bulldogs are on the hunt. And now Wentworthville will be forced to defend yet again. Line dropout only average. About 35 metres on the fly as Chris Armott now returns the footy. He's crunched by big Pelletolisi and the equally big Manu Kafoa. So Brett Cook now starting to utilise his interchange. Got his big boppers off the bench into the mats now. So Canterbury, they're working their way closer to the Wentworthville line. It's been a familiar story this afternoon. They go to the open side now with Nathan Smith, and Lett explodes onto that ball. He's going to get his second one. They could barely get a hand laid on him. Michael Lett, 2 tries. He's just got so much speed. Give him an inch, he'll take 20 metres. And 10-0 is a scoreline kick to come after 23 minutes of play.
He's gone through here like he's got funnel web spiders all over him though, David. Lee Bennett might comment on this, but that's not great defence from the Wentworthville side out wide. Just a lot of pace. You've got to give him credit there, but I think 2 or 3 very, very poor attempts at tackle there on Michael Lett.
Get him.
I'm sorry, David. I was just going to say, you could see Aaron Fluke just getting caught on the inside a little bit there, allowing a bit of space there, and Michael Lett sniffed that out perfectly. And geez, he has some pace to burn. He's exciting to watch.
He really is. We first saw him running around for Shell Harbour Dragons in this competition a few seasons ago. Conversion unsuccessful, 10-0 to the Bulldogs. 24 and a quarter minutes gone. You're looking at Mickey Payer.
He's just back from injury too, Mickey Payer, so obviously trying to get the minutes up here before he looks to get back into NRL.
So now it'll be Henry Rawalui to restart proceedings. Underway. We've talked about the playing surface a couple of times. Well done to the Wentworthville curator again here at Ringrose Park. They continually turn out a very good playing strip. Payer to his feet. And what's important now from Wentworthville's perspective is how they hit back. They can ill afford to let the Dogs score again. Between now and half-time, they've been in reasonably good form, Wentworthville, lying 5th on the competition ladder. Let's see what transpires over the next 10 minutes or so. It could very well become a pivotal part of this game. Corey Payne to his feet. Back to Pumapi. Payne was stung in that tackle. He got very gingerly to his feet. Matt Hunt doing a stack of defence in the centre of the ruck. Now a kick over the top by Cutler and taken on the full by Henry Rawalui. Didn't have to move his feet a millimetre to take that. No pressure at all. Cutler will be unhappy with himself there, Pete.
He was. He admonished himself. You could hear it on the effects. And just as soon as he kicked it, he knew it was a poor one.
Here's Chris Hicks trying to make a bust. There's a familiar face, Michael Hodson, preparing to come into the battle. Manu's Manu Kafoa, former Rabbitoh, former North Queensland Cowboy. Fluke inside to Matthew Ryan. Ryan started the game strongly, has gone a bit quiet on it. In the last few minutes, kick downtown taken on the full by Michael Lett. He'll use his winger, Tia Khalifi. Tia Khalifi, a good effort and determinedly trying to get the ball away. Eventually flung to ground by Joseph Paulo. Now Ravakava. Just a gain there of a couple of metres. Joseph Paulo did well. Bryson Goodwin. That carry comes to an end after he was confronted by Hunt and Manukaufoa. And now Manukaufoa makes another tackle along with Matthew Ryan. This time on Pumapy. In 16 it is Michael Hodson. His first touch in this round 20 game. Pumapy. Now Smith. The line props and puts the ball in the air. Kicked it right on the point. Hicks contests it. It comes back. And Matthew Ryan touched it. It's okay according to the referee. Thought there might be a question of a player coming for an offside position to touch that football. Ken Seo, meanwhile, is tackled for Wentworthville. At this juncture, we'll go down to the sideline and a comment from former Balmain right Eastwood captain Lee Bennett, today filling in for Drury.
Yeah, David, I've been very happy with the first 20 minutes from Wentworthville. They had a good, they were really in this arm wrestle and looking dangerous down the left side, but Canterbury have struck back and they've got 10 points on the board. And I noticed Corey Payne, when he set up the first try, it was only Michael Lett in the screen. But in the second try, you could see when Corey Payne threw that ball, there was about 4 or 5 Bulldogs supporters following that ball. I think they're starting to sniff there's tries to be had here today.
Yep, fair comment. Michael Lett, he'll get amongst them too. Ball away to Morris. Talk about speed, he's got bucket loads of it. Inside ball to Smith. He's got support too at Corey Payne. Now it comes back out to Josh Morris. He's going to beat them all, ends up. Morris got the ball away. A miracle play, really. And now Smith's got it. It comes away to Pumapy, I think. No, it's not. It's Ravakava. What about that for a rugby league try? Who didn't touch it? I'm the only one that didn't, Peter.
I don't think we need to recall this one. That's just a great rugby league try. Another great pass down there in the sideline to Josh Morris. Did marvellously well here, Morris. An early selection of pass back on the inside to Nathan Smith. Good work there from Matty Ryan to put him down the ground. Support back up the middle from the man Corey Payne. Straight out to Morris. Defenders still coming, still arriving. Morris again with a clean pair of heels there across young Daniel Mortimer. Defending at the end there, Mortimer just shuts him down. Pass off the ground from Bryson Goodwin and a pass again here from Nathan Smith, unselfishly there, off to Daniel Ravakava. I mean, you couldn't call it any better than that, Happy. I thought you were great. We didn't need to call that again.
Try time. That keeps happening. I'll get it earlier. Bryson Goodwin 10 metres out right in front. Morris handling twice in that movement. I thought he was going to go all the way at the back end of it. Flags in the air, 16-0. This is beginning to look ominous for Wentworthville.